Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxford, on the show this evening. It's the one and only GB. Evening, GB.
Evening, Oxshire. How is one?
One is hot and bothered, mate, but looking forward to Friday
I know it is. It's getting this week's creeped up. I don't know about you, mate, but this week's creeped up pretty fast, mate. 1 minute it was Monday, the next minute we're nearly on the verge of what I say the season starting. It's crazy, mate.
Oh, mate, that's a sign you're getting old, mate. 1 minute it's Monday, the next it's Thursday, mate.
It maybe just be that, mate. It could be that, by the way, because it seems as though 9 o'clock in the morning is the same as 9 o'clock at the night, doesn't it? For me, mate.
Listen, we're going to get the phone lines open. We're going to be looking at maybe some of the things that's come out of the club. We were nearly right last night. We said that there's potential for people leaving. We talked about Gassama. We threw in Ant-Man at times, but Ant-Man definitely looks as if he's away. Maybe covering all the expenses with the club, so that gives us revenue, frees up wages to go and bring somebody else in. I don't see it as a negative personally. And then we'll look at the fan advisory board. I'm going to get GB's take on what he's seen so far and what his hopes and aspirations are for the season. But you're welcome to join us here at the show. So let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Hi, GB, before we move on and look at some substitutes, talk about transfers, I'd just like the GB's take on the Derek McInnes era. I've said that I think he looks a good fit. I don't know what your take on it is and what you've seen so far, mate.
I mean, it has been the kind of perfect fit, like since the Danny Rowe departure and stuff like that. The club moved fast. And to be honest, I don't think I've been on like really during the kind of closed period where McInnes has been announced and stuff like that. So my overall take on it was good. The club moved fast on it, Ox. The Shankland thing as well was a brilliant piece of work with the club, with being able to snatch up the kind of.
And congratulations to Lawrence Shankland.
I can come back to that, mate. I forgot. Well, not so much forgot about it, but the amount of stuff that's been going on at Rangers was that many talking points. But the McInnes appointment, it's solid, and it's what we've been asking for in the sense of getting a wee bit of identity back in the dressing room again. And then Sod's Law, that kind of opened up the path for more Rangers men coming back. Like I said, Shankland, and then Devlin coming in as well. Just guys that are, like I says, that know the score of the Scottish game, Ox. And then we've added a kind of few free transfers in amongst all that as well. A new goalkeepers came in as well. So, I mean, it's all fresh and lovely, the new Ox. It's just when it comes down to the crunch, we're going to need, what I says, I think, for what I've seen in the friendlies, I think we're definitely needing some help in the forward line. I don't think we need any more strikers or anything like that, but I think we definitely need to start.
We'll get more strikers than Arthur Skelgel, mate.
I think that side in midfield is now covered. I think really we need to I think the club and the recruitment team need to push on and just help McInnes a bit, Ox, between the defence and what I says that attacking midfield side of things. They need to get goals into that team, mate. I think we all know that this league is down to getting balls in the back of the net, mate. That's what wins your league. It doesn't matter about what a referee does or how you
score goals, score one more than the other.
That's it. I think it's been lacking for a few seasons now that we've just not been putting the ball in the back of the net enough, Fox. It's probably sometimes hindered us. But along with other things on top of that, I suppose, mate.
Listen, no, only time will tell. I think it's obvious we need two wide men. Yeah, As I said, we're not confirmed 100%, but we're going to hear from the manager just shortly. But yeah, I tell you what, Dave, we'll hear from Derek McInnes now because he mentions it, and obviously he talks about the new captain. We'll hear from him as the show develops. But let's hear from your gaffer, Derek McInnes.
We've just had your new captain in Lawrence. Maybe talk us through why you feel he's the man for this role. He obviously did it for you previously.
Yeah, I think obviously, you know, when you're going to a club and you've got to pick a captain, obviously James Tavernier has served the club for a long period and served it well. So there was always this discussion, and it's been something I've been asked about quite a lot since I've been in the job. And I just really wanted to look throughout the squad really and how everybody was. But the benefit Lawrence had, or advantage, Lawrence had, was the fact that I've got evidence of how well he's runs a dressing room, his experience of being a captain at Hearts for a few years now. And you know, there was obviously a lot to consider, but I think a lot of things went in his favour as well. I think he's got the experience. I think we're still quite a young dressing room. He knows the club. Obviously, he's not long in before me, but he knows the club in terms of being a Glasgow boy and supported the club. He knows what's expected of him and me and the team this season. So, and obviously I've got a strong relationship, which always helps with these things.
Hearts is obviously a massive club as well, but how big a step up is the level of scrutiny and responsibility that Lawrence will have here? Yeah,
I think it's an important role, whatever club you're at, but I think that, you know, there's similarities in the sense that I felt that Lawrence took a lot on his shoulders at Hearts when things weren't going so well. Last season, this time last year, when we were in at Hearts, and obviously he was the existing captain, and I seen no reason to change it after seeing how he was in and around the team. But I do feel that the role now has changed in the sense that I do think we need as many kind of captains underneath him as well, and in the sense you've seen a lot of managers speak about that recently, and I think that, you know, someone to help share the burden. Normally, I used to see it with James Tavernier a lot as well at Rangers, where he would get rolled out after every sore defeat, and ones that had a lot of impact, and I just thought that it was always a bit unfair. It was the same guy getting rolled out all the time, and I do think we have to share that load, share the responsibility, both when things are going well and when things aren't going so well. So leaning on a lot of his teammates, key players within that, you know, there's a kind of a leadership team in there within the dressing room that will help him with that. But ideally, you want everybody to be able to deal with the responsibility you just mentioned.
Are you able to confirm who those are? Is it the guys that have been wearing the armband at various times in recent weeks? Yeah, there's a few. I mean, I'll speak to all the players about on that tomorrow. Obviously, just named Lawrence captain today, but there'll be no real surprises with it. You could probably second guess that, but I think I'll speak to the players about that first on the meeting tomorrow.
Derek, you said at the weekend that you were hoping to maybe get a couple of names in the door before Friday's match. Where are you in terms of the progress on that?
We'll probably be able to announce one either tonight or tomorrow, and we're still actively trying to do one more, which is quite an important one for us in terms of position-wise. So we haven't given up hope that both lads could be on board for us for going to Dundee on Friday.
Is Olwetu Makanya a player that you're interested in, could be coming in the door soon?
Yeah, that's one that is close. As I say, we're pretty close to maybe announcing that. So it'd probably be safe to say that one looks pretty good for us. And there's another one we're still trying to kind of get over the line.
What do you feel Olwetu will add to this team, obviously in a key position?
Well, I think he's another one of a similar profile in terms of the age. He's got a lot of athleticism, he has good potential, and while he's coming from the MLS and he's coming to a different country and a different type of football, we feel he's got the attributes that can cope with that. I think when you look at us defensively, we're short in numbers, so it was good that we've managed to act quickly to get one in. And we probably still need to look to bring in another couple of defenders before the window closes, but you know, we're a bit light in terms of numbers, and I think getting that kind of resolved this week, and hopefully we can announce that tonight or tomorrow, then we're delighted.
You mentioned the other lad, Derek, in terms of the position. Is that more forward thinking in terms of your mind, in terms of what you need at the top end of the pitch?
Yeah, I think we're really strong in certain areas, and there's some key areas that we need to be bring one or two in.
Can I just ask about outgoings as well? Oliver Antman, there's a lot of chat around Tim. Can you bring us up to speed with his situation, if you could?
Yeah, I believe a deal's been agreed, and Ollie has travelled to maybe finalise that. But other than that, that was this morning, so I don't know, or last night. That kind of, I don't know where it's at beyond that, to be honest, Ronnie. But I'm pretty sure that'll work out for the boy.
Obviously, Friday we got underway on the touchline. And Friday after the club appealed your ban, just firstly, how important is that to be there for that first game in the Premiership, and what do you expect as we start this Premiership campaign?
Well, I want to be there because I want to be able to do my job. So, obviously we will appeal that. So hopefully it will allow me with appeal to be on the touchline. But no, looking forward to it. I think we've got to feel excited about a new season starting. This is a real opportunity for us to kind of start as we mean to go on. Obviously it's been well documented that Rangers haven't started the first game of the season well for a number of years, and the cards have dealt as a tough fixture, but it's very rarely you get an easy fixture away from home, and it will be tough going to Tannadice, but it's important that Dundee United have a tougher game than what we're getting, and we've got to turn up on Friday and do our jobs well. So pre-season friendlies serve their purpose. I'm glad it's over with, to be honest, and we can get down to the real stuff. And while we've still got work to do, I'm delighted with some of the work we have managed to do, both in signing players and also the effort the players have put in since we came in. They've worked extremely hard. They've been very willing to listen and do what we're asking of them and putting the work towards them, and they've been really first class in terms of their effort. We just need to help them now as a staff going along, and obviously winning games of football helps, especially with a young team. It's important that we give that confidence to them early on, and winning at Dundee United away is a good step for us. So we've got work to do to win the game, and expect a tough match regardless.
Just finally for me, just a general squad update for the other guys in terms of injuries, knocks and stuff. Everyone fine, good to go?
Yeah, so Tello, Asgard trained this morning. He obviously came off on Sunday against West Ham, but the shoulder's not causing him any discomfort. So he'll train fully again tomorrow, and obviously okay for the game. And Cammy's had a little calf knock, but will fully train tomorrow. We've just resisted him making contact, which is a bit hard for him, to be honest. But he's been doing some work with the physios, doing some ball work on his own, and he'll train fully tomorrow. So the only one's young Scally, who's been out throughout pre-season. Connor Barron's a wee bit behind. He's only had, I think, 7 or 8 days of pre-season. Connor's had a little knee niggle. We didn't allow him to do the pre-season before we went to Spain. Never done anything in Spain really with the team. But he's picked up his work now with this week, so Sunday might come too quick for him. And Cifuentes has had an operation, is out as well. So other than that, we're good to go. He's fine, yeah, we're good to go.
Derek Dragojevic, is he good to go? Everything sorted there? Is that what you said? Sorry, I never heard.
Your ears painted on?
We hard to hear. You need to speak up, Ronnie.
If you ask me again, I'm starting to worry about you.
And you're right. What about Nico Raskin? Is there any bids coming for him that you can confirm?
Not that I'm aware of. Not. Nico's due to arrive late tomorrow. But again, these conversations are between the club and the agent, and whether that's something that comes in, I'm pretty sure we'll look at that if it comes in, but nothing as yet.
Thank you.
Sorry, that's Dundee. John Suter, is he close to leaving the...
I don't know, to be honest. I spoke with Dan, the recruitment team, this morning, and it wasn't mentioned, so I don't know where that's at. John's just been working away brilliantly just to try and keep himself right, but I think he might have 1 or 2 options, but I don't know, to be honest.
Is he not one you personally see fitting into your plans here?
Listen, he's in the squad. He's in training with us, and he's in the building, but it's just maybe a situation where John might well look to go elsewhere to get regular football. That's we've had a conversation about that, and I think he's looking at options to explore, but it's got to be somewhere that he wants to go as well.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. GB, I've said it before, I just feel that Derek's a better fit. And I think you see that with the press conferences. Yeah, I mean, it's not, it doesn't win you matches, but he's in control. Yeah, he's straight and he's maybe it's a better fit than some of the boys we've had in the past. You know, maybe Stevie G, if I'm honest, mate, for different reasons. But he's in control. He holds the room. He knows who they are, and he's not going to stand any nonsense, in my opinion. So it's a better fit. And I think he's pretty straight, mate.
Aye, and to be fair, like, he's a bit back as well, Ox, in the sense that he lets us kind of know what is happening with certain players. He doesn't really shy away. He likes the John Suter one and Ant-Man. He could have easily just batted that away and said, I don't know, I'm not sure, and all that kind of. But no, with Ant-Man, he's like, no, I think that's got to work out for the boy. So like, he's not coming out physically saying no, he's away, but like he says, he's getting the insights and the way he handled like the thing where he said that his ears painted on. It's good part, I mean, as well. So you enjoy. That's what I'm saying. That all the time when you come into the press conferences, you're like, oh, here we go, same old, same old. The team are trying hard. They're trying to learn things and all this. And maybe by the way down the line, Derek's conferences might go like that, depending on how we go. But as it stands now, his press conferences, that you've actually been looking forward to hearing what he's got to say. And that was a bit like you says, mate, like Stevie G, you're desperate for the Thursday, Friday or that to come before you could hear the press conference to find out what was happening with the squad and what new things were happening about the club. So as for me, Ox, it's good to get back to that, and it's a good base to build for as well, mate.
I agree, mate. I think just as I say, he's a good fit. So he's gave us an update of where we are. So Ant-Man's away, so that's one less forward player, wide player that we've got to select. I think that looks as if it's pretty much done, that deal, as we mentioned earlier on in the show. So we are short of numbers there. There might be somebody in. Whether he'll be ready to play on Friday night, I don't know, GB, unless he's somebody who knows the club. Wink, wink.
Right, okay. Is this inside info you're trying to...
No, not at all, mate. Not at all. I'm maybe putting two and two together. I'm coming up with 5, mate.
Well, again, if you know Ox, again, it would need to be somebody like it says it's fit and ready, Ox, if you're going to come on Friday night. And like you says that, and one thing you don't want to do is go with all that. Go it all out, and then the next minute you get them and you put them into a game, and the next minute you've rushed them as well. You mean you've caused an injury or something like that. So again, I think, see, to be honest, mate, I was a bit kind of last week. I was a bit like, come on, like it's coming up for the start of the season. We better be ready here. And I was getting a bit kind of annoyed with the transfer window and stuff like that. And I know it's hard to get people out, but see, to be honest, mate, the way that squad is now, right, that should be able to help Derek McInnes get through these next couple of weeks to get the players in that he needs. So Friday night should be a given. We should be still going out there and being able to challenge and win that game, mate, with the squad it is, you know. And it's up to the boys in that team to pull their socks up, like Gassama and all that. The wingers that are still there, young Curtis and stuff like that. They've just got to, I says, roll their sleeves up and go out and do a job for us the next couple of weeks, and hopefully McInnes will get in the extra bodies that he needs, mate.
Mm-hmm. I think there's people leaving, and hopefully they'll leave in permanent deals. You know, after wage bill, and hopefully bring some money in, like Ant-Man. And my information for a very reliable source outside is that Barjami's gone, mate, and it'll break tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, my big pal, Albania.
Aye. So if that frees up money, mate, and they're away, and I think it's a good fit for both sides, mate. Yeah. You know, these guys haven't worked. Barjami has showed glimpses, mate, but all the piece he's been elected, so it might be good for him get a lift. I think that's 2 years he's been with us now, so maybe 2 years left, maybe. I'm not sure without looking into it. Maybe a year left, but maybe definitely 2 years with the daft contracts we give sometimes. So if he's moved on to pastures new, if he's off the books, and particularly if, and it is an if it's a permanent move, transpires, more the better for me. And it lets us free up wages to spend on players that are going to be first team regulars, mate.
And I might be in the twilight zone here, Ox, but like, is the Danilo deal finalised as well?
Danilo's away in a year's loan, mate. But watch this space, mate. I just we'll have to listen to the same next summer with Danilo. I'll be surprised if we don't, mate. Yeah.
And I was surprised to hear Cifuentes in that conversation, the Fresser and all. Like, he's back.
Injured.
Aye.
I believe he's also booked in for an op for January, mate. Go on for spreading rumours.
Aye.
That was a joke, by the way.
Aye, no.
Transfer windows, yeah.
Mate, that's what I'm saying. Everyone's either he's got something wrong with him or he can't find a club. So, by the way, it'll make just fine, mate, that he just gets like the usual treatment. Like, what can we do to get you out the door? Can we just pay you off and we shake hands and that's the end of it, kind of thing? I mean, because guaranteed he's not wanting to be back round about Scotland and all the rest of it.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
He's back, aye, but he's, you know what I mean. He's back because he needs to be back. You know what I mean? He's definitely not probably wanting to be here. If he was, then he would have. There's been more effort out of him with his whole sign. By the way, do you know? Remember back when we signed him, Mox, and he had that header he scored and all the rest of it, and you're like, this guy could come good. It just shows you how quickly, like I says, a signing can turn, can't it? Same with Cortez, Oscar Cortez as well, and all that. Like, all these guys are still floating about Rangers.
Money, millions and millions and millions of pounds that were squandered. I mean, everybody does it, mate. And I know, but we seem to have a poorer hit rate than most, mate. You know, particularly when we're bringing in guys that are so-called internationals. I mean, Barjami, he's showed you at times. He's got great ability, mate. Great ability, and he's shown it. I mean, I know it was a cup tie against lower opposition, but the goal he scored last year when he came in for the left, mate, it's great technique. It's there, but if you've not got the cojones or the attitude to go with it, well, you'll get fun out of our club. And you arguably get fun out in Scottish football as well, GB.
Aye. Again, he'll do well in a team that's mid-table somewhere. Again, he'll go back to mid-league tables in the Italian league or something like that. You mean, he's like you says, mate, the technical ability's all there. Even that game that he had for us again away to Aberdeen, a fantastic game that night. He actually probably dragged us out a hole, and but just for some reason, and I think McInnes has touched on it. Too many of them are no consistent with their performances, and he's even said as well that the gradient difference is like massive. Like, you can either have a right top of a performance or it's like a right crap performance. You don't get the in between. You don't get the kind of the 7 out of 10. Like, after that, it's always, like I say, either 10 or it's 0. I mean, it's mental how it works out at our club. Whereas the teams that do end up going the distance, Ox, most weeks you might get through games, sticky games and stuff like that, but the creative ones always probably are sitting around about the 6s and 7s, you know what I mean? And that's what we need this season, and I really do hope, like he says, he gets the ammunition up front, Ox, because as much as the friendlies were all right, mate, and I know it's only friendlies, but we've seen the picture before. If you're not creating, mate, there's not much a Shanklin can do for you. There's not much a Cifuentes can do for you. And it's been proven. You give these boys a ball into a box, and they'll finish. You know what I mean? Cifuentes, when he got to service, was great last season for us. Lawrence Shanklin in the Hearts.
Who?
Cifuentes. Chimete, sorry. Because I was talking about Cifuentes. Chimete, mate. I think Chimete. When you give him the ball, mate, like it says, he was great last season. This a wee bit more consistency. And then, like I say, Shanklin, mate, for Hearts last season. And seasons before that, again, give him service. He'll put them away 9 times out of 10, mate. And this is what we need to really, like I say, focus in on.
Hi, listen, it doesn't matter how good a centre forward you are if you're playing at number 9. If you don't get the ball, mate, you'll not score any goals.
No, and that's the thing, mate. That's the worry about it.
So we need if you like, traditionally, if we're playing with a pair or somebody supplying the new number 10 role, and the two wide men, they've got to make the majority of your chances. That's why you're set up. Others can chip in, but that's their predominant role, to make chances consistently and chip in with goals as well. That's what they're there for, because they're forward players.
Aye, again, simple stuff, mate. Like I said, we're not asking for a lot. We've got we've got a firepower in there, mate. It's just that we've just been lacking, and like I says, we can't rely on the likes of Agasama and Curtis to do the job, mate, all season. It's just not going to happen, mate. As much as they might have a bit of form, you've seen Agasama dips in form, and Curtis sometimes gets lost in the game. Still young boy development and stuff like that. So it's I mean, that right side there, midfield for ages, that attacking right is plagued us since Gerrard, to be honest, mate. It's never been filled properly. I mean, the rumours of Cherny coming back and all that, I was kind of hopeful for that to materialise a bit.
His numbers were pretty good, mate. Your mate under Stevie G never matched his numbers, mate, you know.
Who's that?
Your mate, the one you liked, up and down the right wing. Come on. Can we see? Come on now.
See?
Aye, Portuguese. Up and down the right wing. Under Stevie G.
Candace.
There you go. See, I knew you remembered them.
Mate, I tell you, again, that was one of the bittersweet moments for him as well, wasn't it? I mean, I remember the friendly he played before he left, and he actually had an absolute belter again, and we sent him on. But we needed he needed the shape that he was building and stuff like that within that team, so it had to be. But again, we need to be dangerous, mate, because we know that this league panics, mate. See if you put pressure on defenders in this league, 9 times out of 10 you'll do all right. I mean, I think a lot of time we seem to get to the box and then stop, and then the next minute we give everybody time to get back in the box and it gives them time to defend.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, mate, without even trying. You've got to play at the right tempo, and you don't stop and slow down when you get to the final third, mate. You've got to have the players there that are get there quick and get the people turning, and then they make it so difficult to defend. Now, that's hard sometimes when people play in the low block, but then you've got to play really fast to get them moving and get even their bodies in the box. You know, it's just common sense football to me.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that's where they spend the money, Ox? Because I know we've spent money on Panda and Dragovic and stuff like that, but apart from that, mate, it's been kind of like free transfers, most of them, I think. I'm
delighted with the business we've done, mate.
I like it, but I think
whether it pans out to be good or not, only time will tell. But what I'm saying is there's been a sensible rationale behind it. Now you'll see we've done with business. We've replaced a lot of the players that finished up, and now as people leave, they might be bringing other people in and spending other people's money, mate. Yeah, to let us move on as a club, mate. Yeah.
Aye. That's what I'm thinking, mate. I'm hoping that this has been kind of the base building bit, and then this is the next bit when we buy quality.
If we went all out and signed already, I think it's 8 he's brought in so far, right? Say we brought in 14, assuming that 6 were going to leave, and the 6 don't leave, mate.
Aye. It's a hell of a lot of wages each week that are sitting doing nothing, mate.
Well, aye, and then you've got to deal with the dressing room, and so there's got to, you've got the football side of things and the economic side of things, and the two of them have been looked at. Obviously, as fans, our first priority is the football, but we've got to be sensible also, I think, mate.
Aye, it's just not always an open checkbook. I know we've got good owners and stuff like that but it's as a business at the end of the day as well. So
and there's also rules of what you can actually spend.
Aye.
You know?
Aye. That's it. Aye. Again, if they've prioritised certain areas and stuff like that, then so be it, Ox. The defence is a funny one though. Like there's John Suter saying they're exploring the options of letting him out. Now, I'm no Suter's biggest fan, but the state we're in with the defensive side of things now, even if this boy the MLS comes in, and we're still short there, Ox. I mean, we're
short of numbers, mate. Short of numbers. We've got two people that can play right back that can both play centre half as cover. We've got one left back and we've got two centre halves. So if the other boy comes in tomorrow, which we heard it was either the night to tomorrow, we're one centre shot, half shot, and one left back. But that's what we're short, mate. So we're two bodies there. We've got 1 million midfielders, mate. Unless some of them leave, and then there's others come in, and then we've very little competition for places in the wide areas. So we've been linked with a boy for Brighton. There's also been the boy for Coventry's been mentioned. Watch this space. Yeah, they're no done till we see them with the scarf above the head. I believe the centre back, the South African centre back. Well, we thought it could be the night. Derek said it could be the night, but it looks as if it's going to be tomorrow. So that's that done. So that's my rationale, mate. One centre back shot. John Suter's got a year's contract, mate. Suits both parties, in my opinion. Yeah, we've watched John. We don't dislike John. We know he's a decent guy, but sometimes it's time we move on. We're left back short as well, mate. And then all of a sudden, two left backs, two right backs, four centre halves. We're covered, mate. So there might be that the other centre half comes in on loan and you sign a left back. That might happen. And all of a sudden, you've got your bodies there. Midfield's fine. It's the left and right attacking areas, mate, that need sorted.
Aye. And I think that left back, Ox probably a priority because we could probably get the cover with what we've got in the central defence, you know what I mean? But the left back and, like you say, the left wing and right wing, that's the main areas, Ox. I would like to, maybe if we don't get it this weekend, mate, then certainly for, like I says, next week, we need to, we need to kind of bolster that because it needs to be, we can't, I heard you, I think a couple of weeks back on the show, and you're saying that we just need a good start to the league campaign. We need to have hopefully maximum points going into the first Old Firm, and I know that says we're looking way into the distance, Ox, but it's important. It's important that we do get after a good start in the league, and what I don't want is it's kind of with half-efforted that in the sense that we've not got the right people in at the right time. And that's what's probably hindered us for the start. I know it's a long season, but what it says it's...
You don't want any hard luck stories, that's what you're saying?
Aye, you know what I mean? We don't want to be going into any Old Firms like it's been in the previous seasons, 6 points behind and all that carry on. Like, we want to be there and thereabouts. I mean, we can, what I say, I think a lot of us can forgive a draw and stuff like that, but that first game's always important. And if you get out of the line with that, then it kind of gives you a bit of a breather and you just push on. I mean, because it's a long time before the next one. And I always feel like that August, September point is really important to get, like he says, maximum points with it, Ox. And then that way, the pressure's on somebody else for a while. You know what I mean? And I know the pressure's always there, but I just think it'd be important and it would, let's say, set a marker. Because it is that 55 season. And I know it was closed doors and people say that it was different times and all that, but end of the day, see when we pushed on right for the get-go with that season, Ox, that was it. It was kind of, it was a juggernaut all season. There was
momentum was a big thing.
Aye, that's it, mate. And I think we need it. I think if we get it, mate, I think honestly, if we get it right and we get momentum, we'll be all right because we've got a manager there. We've got a new captain there that understands it. And hopefully we've got the quality that will just keep getting us through the sticky games.
Oh, did you mention the new captain?
Aye, mate, that's it. Aye. Mm-hmm.
Aye. Listen, congratulations to Lawrence Shanklin. Do you think it would be a good idea to hear from him, mate?
Yeah, mate, let's hear that.
Yeah, so let's hear from Rangers' new captain, Lawrence Shanklin.
Congratulations on being made Rangers captain. What was your reaction to that news?
Thank you. Obviously, a huge honour for myself to be named captain of this football club. I was a lifelong supporter and it was a dream to be here in the first place, but to get the opportunity to captain the club's, as I said, a huge honour.
How did the manager break the news to you, what's the last couple of weeks been like? Is it something you had in your mind? Obviously, a few of you have worn the armband. Maybe take us into what your thoughts have been leading up to today.
You just told me about an hour ago, to be honest, so I got a wee bit exclusive before yourself. But no, listen, when I was at Hearts, I was a captain. I believe since I've came here, kind of the only way I've kind of learned to behave around the place in my training is to act like a captain and try and be a leader in the group. It wasn't something I thought about too much, if I'm being honest. I was delighted to be here in the first place, but I always looked to myself to set examples on the training pitch, do things properly around the place, and that's not just myself. Obviously, I've signed a lot of players to this group this season. Daniel, Ben Godfrey, experienced players who have been about clubs, been captains, and it's about always setting the examples as well. So in terms of my behaviours around the club, they've just been what I expect for myself. How prepared do you feel for the scrutiny and everything that comes with this armband, and how beneficial has the Hearts experience been in that? As I said, the last 2.5 years, all I've known really has been a captain at a football club, and it's something I enjoyed. I enjoyed the responsibility. Of course, you touch on the scrutiny that comes with that. Of course, at times when things get difficult, people do look to the captain to kind of answer up for the squad, and that's something that I'll need to be responsible for. But listen, on the flip side of that, the rewards of being successful at this football club and being a successful captain, for me, outweigh it by miles. So it's something I'm really looking forward to. The modern way that is a lot of clubs now have a leadership group, is that in place, and how beneficial do you think that will be for you? As I said, it's pretty new, but the manager did touch on that, and as I've touched on there, we're going to need a lot of leaders in the camp. I touched on Dan, obviously, he's a known captain, he'd been at Sunderland, had experience of working with Cammy last year as well, who's a true leader in everything he does. So it'll not just be about myself, there will be that kind of core group that looks to lead the changing room. But obviously myself, I'll be at the forefront of that. But I'm pleased with what we've seen so far. I think we've got a lot of good people in that changing room, and we'll look to lead that properly. Growing up and watching Rangers captains of the past, what will it mean to you walking out on Friday night wearing that armband in a competitive game for the first time? No, I can't wait. I was willing to do it the friendly in Spain, to be honest, just to get the chance to get the armband on. But no, listen, to lead my club that I've supported all my life is obviously going to be a huge moment, but at the same time we've got a job to go and do, and I'll be fully concentrated on the football after that. But I'll allow myself a minute to enjoy it. All gets underway Friday. Lawrence, in terms of the readiness of this squad for what lies ahead, where are Rangers at the moment? How ready are you and the players for this campaign? Pre-season obviously was good for us. We got a lot of good work in with our trip to Spain. We've had the two more recent games as well at Ibrox, so that's been good for us. Get experience of feeling and playing at home and stuff. But listen, pre-season serves its purpose. You can only be as ready as you can be with the use that you've got there. But I believe the team are ready to go. I got a feeling about training today that the boys are really looking forward to the competitive games starting again. I certainly am myself. I enjoy them a lot more than friendlies. And it's a great fixture for us going up to Dundee United. It'll be a sell-out up there, good stadium to play at, good away day for the fans, and I said what I to go and try and get a result. And just personally, what you think you've gone through in the last couple of months? I don't think Whirlwind actually covers it in terms of what's happened with you. Have you given yourself a moment to just realise what's happened for you in the last couple of months? It's football. I think throughout my career you kind of learn the ups and downs. It can come pretty rapid. I think that's probably been the case, and I could probably describe it as that. But obviously at night time you try and reflect on things. When I get back for the World Cup, I kind of reflected on that. So there is wee moments where you kind of look back. But listen, when you're at this stage of your career, you just need to kind of live in the moment. I'm loving where I am now. I'm loving this opportunity, and I'm excited for the season starting. Given that you've only just found out yourself, Lawrence, have you had a chance to text family and friends and tell them the news? Are they finding out as they're watching this? I worked with the media team, so I got a wee 10-second exclusive to give them a heads up in the family chat. But all the messages were flooding through pretty rapidly. So it'll be a proud moment for them. A lot of Rangers fans in the family, so they'll be certainly happy to see me captain and lead the team out. There has been a lot of talk about standards and mentality and character at this club, not just last season and the failures, but previous seasons. How big a shift have you noticed even just in the last few weeks, and how important is that shift going to be over the course of the season? I think it's always different when a new management team comes in. Obviously the majority of the group, I had the pleasure obviously working with them last year, so I know what they come to expect, I know what training's like. But it's high intensity, and I think there's been a slight notch in terms of the levels of training. Even since I've come in, I've seen things improve. And it's just about getting used to what the manager demands. There's nothing wrong with how different people work, but in particular with the manager we've got here. He wants training to be high intensity, he wants it to be competitive, and he wants everybody right at it for the start. So that's something that maybe you've not been used to in the past, you'll need to get used to pretty quick. But for what I've seen for the group, everybody's buying into it, and the standards have been getting better.
Given you've just found out about it, I mean, is your plan to speak to any of the former captains here just to sort of get an understanding of just how big the job is? I'm obviously being at Hearts manager, captain is a big job, but I suppose coming here and taking that armband on, it comes with even bigger sort of responsibility.
It has maybe an idea of something I could do, but I've not thought about that in the last hour, if I'm being honest. I was too busy getting photographs and stuff. But no, listen, it's important. You want to buy into experience of people that have been there and done it. And if I get the opportunity to speak to people, I will. Of course, Barry Ferguson, Lee McCulloch and stuff are still around the club, so I'm sure if I bump into them, they'll be giving me lots of advice along the way. You know,
growing up as a supporter, who do you think of as being the sort of ideal leader that you sort of grew up watching?
It was Barry Ferguson for me. He was always my Rangers hero growing up, and maybe that was being the captain as well. You get the opportunity to lift the trophies at the end of the season when they won them. So it was probably that fact, and the thought of that feeling is obviously something you'd want as a captain.
What kind of captain are you, Lawrence? I mean, do you rant and rave in the dressing room before games, or are you one of these guys you just go out in the park and try and lead by example? I
do things properly. That's what I like to do. I like to lead by example that way. Of course, there's times where you need to be more vocal, but I think the days of captains being shouting and bawling in people's faces and screaming, I don't think society works that way. I don't think modern day players really react too well to that. I think it's just about identifying the people who need an arm round the shoulder, need a bit of encouragement, and then there's some who do need a jag at times. But listen, that's something you always come to learn your teammates, and that's not just about the captain. That's everybody identifies what players around about them need, and it's about me identifying that quickly and doing whatever I can to help everybody.
And these leadership roles, these leadership qualities, is that something you've always had, or is it something you've been able to develop over the last few years?
I think obviously when you start out in your career, you're really young. Through experience of what people come to expect to being a captain. Obviously you've worked with captains in the past that you maybe look up to in terms of being at clubs, and I've always kind of had that stature in the club, and I always felt that was quite important to have, and that's something you kind of need to grow and build. But for me as a person, I don't look to change too much. I was the exact same person before I was a captain at Hearts as I was when I was it, and when I come here I'll be the exact same. I just like to do things properly. I like the boys to do things properly, respect each other, and just do it the way you should when you're a Rangers player.
Lawrence, you talk about what you've been through in the last couple of months, but I mean, early in your career, when you were without a club and all that, I remember speaking to you and you said you were going to buy a ball and back to your high school and all that. When you think of that journey you've been on now to be Rangers captain, how incredible is that? And do you think it's because of that, because you went through that you are where you are now?
Possibly. Obviously the experiences were huge and huge turning points in your career, but when you're at a kind of crossroads in your career, you're always just looking for the next opportunity to try and show yourself and improve and do things better than you did before. And I think that's probably been a valuable lesson I picked up pretty young, and it probably was a lesson for me to do things properly every single day, week in, week out, or as much as you can. Nobody can be at it 100% every day, to be honest, but you do it as much as you can, and every time you show up to work you turn up with the right attitude, and I think that's something I've always had. And when I got the opportunity, obviously when I was younger, to go back in the air and play football again, I was just so grateful. But that grounding obviously does help, and I mean, you work hard and you get moments like this and you get an honour to lead a club like Rangers. It is obviously huge.
I heard Chris Boyd talking the other day about how much pressure he thinks you're under to score goals for Rangers this season, but do you put that pressure on yourself? Do you almost thrive on that, to be the guy that gets the goals to try and win Rangers a title?
I think I've been under that pressure as a striker no matter what club I've been at. Since obviously from my early days kind of on then, I've managed to put myself in a position to be a wee bit of a talisman at clubs, done United as well, Hearts, and that's something I've been proud of. It's a lot of hard work and obviously setting examples and getting the goals for the team, and that's a responsibility I enjoy. Obviously coming here, maybe a bit more scrutiny around it, but in terms for me, the job stays the same. You're coming to a big club, a big support, you get the opportunity to play at Ibrox, and the way I expect it to go, I expect us to control a lot of games at Ibrox and create chances for the strikers. So it's a challenge I'm relishing. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to leading the line.
Lawrence, congratulations. You came so close to winning the title last season with Hearts. What would it mean to you to lead Rangers, your boyhood team, the team you supported, to Premiership title?
It'd obviously be huge, and it is something we're obviously going to set out to try and do. Coming into the season, that's the expectation. You come to a football club like this, you want to go and win the league. There's no shying away for that. We know it's a responsibility that we accept as players. And obviously myself as a captain now, I'll need to kind of bleed that into the changing room. But I seen we missed out obviously last season, but I'm looking forward and hopefully can go one closer this year.
And I suppose Scott was referring to your career path there. Is that almost a symbol to young players everywhere?
Possibly. Listen, if it helps one boy who's in a sticky position right now, especially at this time of the season, players can find themselves out the game, and it does become a difficult time for people. But if it can be a lesson for any player out there, hopefully my journey can help.
Hi Lawrence, I know it's only been an hour or so, but tonight when you go to bed, will you go to bed dreaming of lifting trophies as Rangers skipper? Because that is the measure of great Rangers skippers in the past, isn't it?
It is. It'll probably depend on what time the kids are going in, to be honest, how long I'll get to think. But no, listen, you don't need to go too far down that corridor outside when you're walking to the press room to see the past photos of the captains of the past lifting trophies, and of course that is something I've always dreamed of. As I just touched on there, it's something that we're going to set out to do this season. Of course we want to get our hands on silverware, but I'm not going to get too ahead of myself. We've not even played our first league game yet, and we need to look forward to that on Friday.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. Can I just say congratulations to Lawrence Shanklin, and congratulations to his family and his friends, mate. Well done. It is a great story, Lawrence, how he's ended up at my club. I wish him all the best, and I hope he's successful as a captain, mate, because nothing will make us happier, mate.
I mean, what a story. I mean, it's like the Jamie Vardy thing as well, isn't it? I mean, the background to him as well. So for Shanklin to end up being Rangers captain, for starting out at the club, and then, like I said, having to find his journey again back to the club is remarkable. And again, if he adds trophies to that, then just icing in the cake, isn't it? I do feel though sometimes with the press conferences that it's constant. I mean, I don't know how many times I've got to ask Lawrence Shanklin about last season. See, last season for him done. I mean, they need to it's how do you feel? How's it going? Like end of the day, this is a new era for him. He's the new Rangers captain. He's got to take on the mantle, and it's up to him to try and drive that team to similar success. You mean, hopefully. So I like all the best to him, but like I said, I think it's this time to. I think even the press side of things, they need to protect him a bit, because we all seem to put the pressure on before the first game. You know what I mean? It's not a given that we're going to go out there and have a great season. So
no, of course,
and that's not down to
no, it's not down to Lawrence having the armband, mate. Listen, our first aim is to end up with two more points than we had after the first game last season. Win the next game at Ibrox, have 6 points instead of 2 points, and move on like that, mate, and build our success. Mate, is important. Our record in the first games is appalling in the last 10 years, if we're honest. Yeah, it's no great. It doesn't make good reading. And we can't win the league in the first game of the season, but every game's 3 points, mate, so it's important. So we have to go out here on Friday with the right attitude. No excuses. Win the game. Performance, in some respects, is secondary. You know, talking about people who always perform. We've been joined by AK. Evening, AK.
Well, I don't know about that, Ox. Evening, Ox. GB, and everybody that's listening.
I wasn't talking about my Mrs. K there. I was talking about, I know you're a professional engineer, mate. Yeah, I caught you working yesterday.
I'm one there.
I believe I was going to say you're a great attender, but that would be a lie, wouldn't it?
I've been 100% the last 6 months.
Oh, brilliant, mate. You'll get a watch for that or something, wouldn't you?
How are you, GB? All right?
Aye, all good, AK. All good, mate.
You're looking forward to the season starting, I take it, eh?
Aye. Just eager, like I says, AK, and you'll maybe be much like everybody else here. Just eager to give the manager all the help he needs, mate, to get what he needs out of that team. Like I says, Me and Ox have been talking about it. It's Scholes that's going to charge us on to a title, mate. And the team's needing help with, especially with the strikers up front, mate.
Aye.
The strikers need help. They need people to give them the balls. That's as simple as that. I think we'll be surprised. We nearly nailed it last night when we started talking about Gassama. We just got the wrong personnel, didn't we?
By the way, he could still be in the equation to go as well, Ox. And that's the thing. I don't have any affiliation. See, we absolutely had a clean slate with our entire squad for last year and start again, but we know that's not practical. But recruitment, it's the same old story, isn't it? For whatever manager we're getting, it's vital for him to get the recruitment right to give yourself the best opportunity for success. And that's been a problem with not just McInnes, but every previous manager we've had, probably with Gerrard departed.
Well, listen, you're right. I mean, well, that's how you don't get tattoos, mate. You get diabetes, in it, because they go as quick as they come. You know what I mean?
I get the kids ones with their easily removable.
You know, but I get your point. You know, but we need people in, and also we want to sell them for the right. You know, it's maybe secondary to us as fans, but we want to sign them for the right dollar for the club, AK.
Of course, aye. And to be fair, by the way, getting, you know, even the 3 million for Jack Butland, that's pretty good business. The other ones we're talking about, the new Ant-Man, if we can actually make a profit on him, I think he came in for 3.5 million. If you're talking about 4.5 million, and then obviously our main one is Raskin. If that turns into a bidding war for a guy, what did we buy him, Ox? Was it 1.5 or 2 million or something? Wasn't he?
You don't know, mate, because there's obviously you might have X, and then if you play X amount of games, you have to play Y, and if he gets international caps, you'll never know, mate. But let's just say we paid 3 million in total, mate. And if you get somebody at the door, and I'm not saying I think it will, but in theory, anybody you sign for that and you put them out for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 million, but it's got a successful business, you know. But the Ant-Man one, I think is just what it looks like to me. It's pretty much we've brought him in, signed him, paid him for a year, and we've got him out and we've covered all the costs, mate. And the manager obviously doesn't think he's a great fit. Good, no. I'm happy if the manager gets a player in that he wants. That makes me even happier, GB.
Ox, because they can trust the guy. I mean, he's probably watched him or he's been recommended or whatever. So again, I think it helps the player as well. See, when the player's getting brought in and it's the manager that's brought him in, then it gives that kind of feel good factor to them as well. It lets them settle better knowing that the manager wants them. Whereas, like say Ant-Man and all that, I would imagine it's been a lot of additions early summer that he's got to prove himself and stuff like that. And I think probably McInnes, again, he's covered a lot of the Rangers games last season as well, and he's probably seen at times that the boys just not been able. He's had that one blistering game that he came in for, the very first game, and then after that he's just never hit any of the heights ever again. So I really hope that we kind of the last few wingers and attackers that we've signed, Ox, haven't they really hit the ground running? And I just hope that we've got a wee bit of luck this time in the transfer window, because it's been a long time coming since we've had a player that can get his half a seat, mate.
Well, I would argue that Mikey Moore done it last season a lot. He didn't start great, AK, but he grew into it, and I felt sometimes we weren't fair to the young boy, but he stood up to it.
Aye, the start of the season, I remember watched him for the first time. I think it was against Alloa, him in the League Cup, and he wasn't particularly outstanding that day. He was running into a lot of traffic, but he seemed to grow into the role and into the team with the club, basically. He felt more comfortable, and the supporters certainly took to him. You know, for the age of the boy he was, he arrived a boy, and I would say he left a man. I think he took to the club and we took to him. But football's football, isn't it? It's a loan deal you can't get too attached to. I wish he was there, but I think Spurs is going to probably take him in a different direction. But I think him just having the experience of playing at Ibrox in front of a crowd, I think, well, he said himself, Rangers, he'll be forever in his heart and look out for our results.
A bit like a holiday romance, GB, yeah?
That's it. You keep texting for a while after it until you take the hint that it's game over.
Texting.
Oh, well, I don't know. You'd be love letters, would it be?
No, none of them near him, mate.
Pigeon post, GB.
None of them near him.
Just a straight long distance phone call. Goodbye.
No, none of them near him, mate. Done, it's done.
Done, it's done. Ruthless, mate. Ruthless.
Move on, mate. To be ruthless sentiment in this life. You know how caring I'm of IKEA.
Oh, aye. By the way, I hope this was all pre Mrs. Ox. Your tournament.
That was an Easter trip, mate. That was an Easter trip.
So what are we making of the business that we're doing, guys? Are we happy? Do you think we're in a stronger position?
Only time will tell, mate. Yeah. You know, we could have, if you think about it, I'm going to read you a team. I looked at it last night, yeah? I'm just going to prove a point to you with this, right? Now, this was a low point for me, right? But the team in this particular night was Butland's Aaron Suter, the Jiga McHoma, right? As your back five, right? Yes?
Yep.
Midfield of Cameron, Rockwell, Asgard. And up front, Ant-Man, Danilo, and Gassama. I'll send you a fiver if you get the game.
No idea.
It's the first one away.
I'll give you a clue. GB. This country borders several countries in Europe.
I'm trying to think, but it was a European game away, wasn't it?
Come on, AK, bail him out.
Sturmgrass, Bran.
Oh, come on, AK. It was a low point.
Oh, Bruges.
Well done. Wow.
Was that your starting team? Jeez, oh.
Right. Right. Well, I read that team out again, mate, just so you can listen, yeah?
No, I've got cold shivers just hearing it the once.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? Butland, Aarons, Suter, De Giga, McHoma, Cameron, Rothwell, and Asgard, Ant-Man, Danilo, and Gassama.
And yet they're all touted, Ox. You think about it. Rothwell, touted to be a good midfielder, good pro. Ant-Man had, again, that kind of new signing feel about him. He's meant to be able to have pace and power and attack and all that carry on. Isama, again, touted to be a pace merchant scoring goals. And then you've got like at the back, Butland and Suter. I mean, they're like your kind of solid ones. Arms, again, was one that was touted to be the...
Because he played in the Premier League, mate. Sent off after 6 minutes. Young McGoma get raped. Suter and DJ get run ragged. Rothwell couldn't run. Cameron looked like a wee boy. Asgard, we know, but he's strolling about. Danilo, Ant-Man, and Gassama, I don't think they touched the ball. You know, so Butland's gone. Aarons is gone. Suter's going to be away. De Giga's gone. McGoma's gone. Cameron could go. Rothwell's gone already. Ant-Man's away. Danilo's away. And that leaves Asgard and Gassama. Shows you the turnaround, and it shows you what to get rid of people. And we're doing all right as far as that's concerned, AK. But that's frightening when you hear that team, yeah? Frightening.
Aye, definitely. And yet you've got people own forums and that, and you'll no see saying are we any further forward than this time last year. But see, when you read out that team, aye, we are.
I'm going to read it again, mate, just to cheer everybody up. Yeah, get yourselves on mute. But before we play a tune, we're just going to give a shout out again for Davy Hertz joining us, AK, and next Tuesday night to talk about his book, The Nearly Men, mate. I really admire people who take the time to write books. I know it's not Davy's first, but he's going to come on the show next Tuesday. It'll be great to hear from him, and an interesting subject, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the listening to Davy. I hear Davy often in other podcasts, and he speaks very well. And I tell you, his knowledge of Rangers is up there with the best bears out there. So I'm really looking forward to that one. And well done to get Davy on the show, Ox.
Get yourselves on mute because we're going to have a tune.
As we go marching down the Paisley Road, the west, the doors and the windows open wide. You will hear the people cheer, the Glasgow Rangers boys are here. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, Glasgow Rangers is our name. For we are the best team in all Scotland, and Glasgow Rangers is our name. So bring on the Celtic, your Hibs and Aberdeen, your Dundee United, we're the best you've ever seen. We play hand on heart, God save the Queen. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. As we go marching down the Paisley Road west, the doors and the windows open wide. You will hear the people cheer, the Glasgow Rangers boys are here. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, Glasgow Rangers is our name. For we are the best team in all Scotland, and Glasgow Rangers is our name. So bring on the Celtic, your Hibs and Aberdeen, your Dundee United, we're the best you've ever seen. We play hand on heart, God save the Queen. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. It's Glasgow Rangers for me.
While you are sitting listening on your own, why not take part and give us a phone? We would love to hear your points of view, so get off your bum and call 0141 356 1972.
Yes. I don't know if you picked up in the scoop we gave out. We had it for a reliable source. He's well informed, very big, very good and well informed in the gambling world. Berjami has left the building, mate. Berjami has left the building. Did you pick up on that, AK?
Yes, loud and clear. That's good. Do we know a price or who to? No, is you know that good with info?
Well, that info, the guys gave her the info. I'd say it's long odds that he's right, mate.
Just let's say Super 6 then.
No, it's came from a good source, mate. I don't think anybody was surprised. I just want to read that team out again. And anybody that doesn't think we've moved on. Butland, Aaron, Suter, Dejiga, Mahoma, Cameron, Rothwell, Asgard, Ant-Man, Danilo and Gassama was the starting 11 away in Bruges, mate. In fact, I'm going to look at the home game. the home game, right? When we're still in a tie. Yes, is that fair, AK? Butlands, Aarons, De Giga, Suter, Big Homer, Diamondi, Raskin, Rothwell, Antman, Danilo, and Gassama. We are miles away from that. Miles away from that. AK, then GB.
Aye, certainly when you see all the players out loud and you know how well they underperformed, aye. But it's all very well talk. We need action. We've got guys in there that are familiar with the league now, which I like. Your Shankland, in particular, young McCrory. Sterling made a good impact there at the weekend, but even Asgard has come back with a different attitude, and Cammy Devlin has certainly made a big impact in the couple of games that we've seen him. So it's something to work on at least. Derek McInnes prides himself in his knowledge of the players in Scotland. Are you a wee bit surprised we haven't got maybe somebody else in there for the
No.
No?
No.
Because I mean, he likes the boy
I'm gonna
Stuart
tell
Finlay. I'm not saying Stuart Finlay would be good enough for Rangers Oaks, but you know, he likes that sort of guy that he can rely on, you know.
Stuart Finlay.
No, I know. Listen, I'm no, but he taken him from Kilmarnock to Hearts, which I was surprised about, but he done a job for him.
Aye. I don't know if he'd do a
No.
job for us, but
No.
but listen, no, and I listen. I want the best players, and if they happen to be Scottish and they work, all the better. I prefer Rangers supporters playing for their team. I'll be honest with that, but it doesn't always work, and we'll see. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how many games Lawrence gets as skipper when the season kicks off. I'll be interested to see how many games McCrory gets. Yeah. Have I seen anybody in Scotland that I think I would like to sign? That's a good question, mate. Maybe the way he played at times last year, the boy Braga, but I hear he's had a terrible start, and he's became the whipping boy already at Tynecastle. But there you go, GB. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head that I would go and sign. Yeah.
No, I think most of the ones that the usual names that we were talking about last season are kind of all moved on now. I mean, like say, a lot of the boys from Motherwell and stuff like that have moved on that we kind of thought would be able to do a job for us as well. But it's see, like say what AK said there about the Devlin signing. It just goes to show up, right, that we can't be snobby about the league either, because a boy like Devlin coming in is actually shining in our team now. He's a standout player in amongst that midfield, and yet we're signing guys for like 4 or 5 million and all that kind of. So I agree with AK. I'm surprised that we're no, let's say, looking within the league more to try and shore up the defence. I don't know, but that's McInnes and the recruitment team's job today.
For we sign somebody, mate, we would know them because they'd be playing well with other clubs. There was a boy for Dundee, I can't remember where he ended up going to.
That's right, aye.
For months, mate, but he wanted to go elsewhere, and whether we were like to him or the new manager wanted him, mate, I don't know, mate. But first of all, it's all right being Scottish and stroke being a Rangers supporter, but they've got to be good enough.
Not even Rangers supporters, Oxley. It says if again, there's Devlin.
He's not Scottish, mate.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't need to be Scottish, doesn't need to be a Rangers fan. But if they came for our league and they know them and they can trust them and they can do a job for us, like I says, all we're looking to do is, again, get back to business in the league, Ox, compete in the league. They sticky games, like he says. We've talked about the big boy defender at St Mirren before and stuff like that. Could he have done a job?
That ship sailed. That ship.
Aye, no, I know. But
we should have signed him. We should have signed him prior to Stevie G being at the club, mate.
Aye, but I'm saying there'll be another Gordie True there. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. And we just kind of, I do feel sometimes with the people that we've been linked with, I feel like the Shankland and the Devlin signing and the Ross McCrory signing seems to be a Derek McInnes thing, and the rest of them that have came in seem to be this recruitment team's signings. And to be honest, the other boys that are linked with the wingers and stuff like that, I don't really.
Did you say Shanklin? Shanklin was a Derek McInnes signing?
No, they seem to be like they fit the kind of Derek McInnes signing.
Have you not read Danny Rowe's comments? I know you'd have been all over it.
He said that he was him that touted it. No, what I mean is, like, when you look at a Derek McInnes kind of pick, you're like, right, aye, that kind of fits with it. But like, do I think Derek McInnes picked out Pando? No. Do I think picked out the boy Neil? No. But that's what I'm saying. I think this recruitment team, they need to be a bit more switched on with where they're looking. Like the boys that were getting linked with the wingers and stuff like that, they hear about them, but they're boys that are out of form or they've showed flashes of form, and we've seen that with Ant-Man, we've seen that with everything. I'm looking for players that are consistent, Ox. I'm not looking for boys that are.
You're going to have to spend about 20 million plus then, mate.
But we've not really spent yet, Ox, and this is what get back to the start of the show. I think we'll need to spend.
Wow, there are sums, mate. There are sums. AK. Wow, we've not spent yet. Wow.
Well, we've spent big on 2 players so far, and the rest of them have been free transfers. I mean, so I think if you're wanting quality, then you're going, and that we know where the goals are going to come from. So that's where you've got to spend your money, I think.
We've got 4 centre forwards, mate.
Aye.
You can't sign any more centre forwards, AK.
I'm not asking for centre forwards. I'm asking for wingers.
Aye, but to get the guys that you want, to get the guys that are going to be consistent, or you think they're already playing the World Cup, you're going to be talking, if they're in the World Cup squads, and you're talking 20, 30, 40 million. With Scottish football, mate, it's not going to happen.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying 30 million pound players.
Derek McInnes has moved away from Lidl's and Aldi's, mate. He's now moved to Sainsbury's, mate. We're not going back to Harrods. We're no Harrods anymore. AK.
It's a difficult one, GB. Listen, I'm enjoying your argument there. It's a frustration there, but I'm just hoping that all works out. I think the Dragojevic one will be a good game. I'm hoping that anyway, because the boys, his rise has been pretty, quick right away to be captain of Partizan Belgrade. And he's obviously ambitious enough to say, if I go to Rangers, then I've got a great opportunity there to make a mark and then maybe have another move after that, which is fine because that's the business that we're in. We're hoping that Raskin is going to do that next step, because you need to recycle that money through your team to improve your team, and that's where the kind of trophies and that come now. It's just sensible business, Ox, isn't it? But you've got to balance your books, and I think the guys going out the door now, you think their wages are going to clear up, and that's important to get the right players in, so as we're getting value for money there. Somebody who's left, for instance, showing 30 grand, if you can get a similar or better player in for half that money, or maybe 10 grand cheaper, then, just recycle it that way. But I think the keeper looks a good gene. We spent 6 million on him. We've spent good money on Dragojevic. But I think there's plenty others to go. You've mentioned Ant-Man, you've mentioned Bajrami. There could well be Kasama, McCausland, Cifuentes, all the guys. We need to try and clear up spaces within the squad, because for what I heard from Rob for Monday's training session there was that many players that McInnes had. He couldn't work just on like the first team. He had to split up his session to accommodate all the players that we've got in our books. So we're clearing our decks, and I think we're trying to be sensible about it, Ox.
Aye. Listen, the manager, I've read the dossier prepared by previous manager. They'll spoke to him when he's come in the club, so there'll be guys that's made up. But GB, don't be fooled when you sign a free transfer. What happens is the agent will say, this guy's a 2, 3, 4, 5 million pound player you're getting. We want the wages accordingly. You're not paying that transfer, and we want a sniff of it, mate. That's how football works. Don't think you get them for nothing. Their wages will be more than when you signed them, mate, because the agent will make sure.
Aye, I've no doubt, like I said, the boy Dan Neil, like coming for Sunderland and stuff like that, his wages will be high considering the pedigree he's coming for and being a captain and all that. I get that, mate. I do. But I'm just saying, like,
but his contract's up and his agent will be saying this guy's X, his wages are Y. You need to pay some of that. He'll get that. You'll call it a signing on fee or bigger signing on fee, whatever you want to call it. But the wages will not be what they would have been if you were signing them direct and their club were getting money. And it happens to us, we complain when we date somebody else, okay, we're delighted, but don't think it's a free transfer as far as it is a free hit.
No, definitely. It's wheeling and dealing in the market as we see it. There's guys that's available on free transfers, but then you look at their wage and they've been getting paid 60. Well, Cherny, for instance. I heard you last night there, Oxen. Cherny would be a brilliant signing, but is it economical to sign him for the fee that Besiktas want for him?
I think
Plus
the
his
fee's all right, mate. If the fee's all right, it's whether you can't pay that wage, mate.
But all of a sudden you're talking about 20 million you're forking out for Cherny, Ox. Is that feasible? That's the gamble and the risk that you need to take economically, and it's up to the Andrew Callanan and the business guys to say whether that risk is good or not. He's certainly a player that would improve his Ox, no doubt about that, if he brings the form that he did when he was here.
We need somebody that's, I said last night, govern ready, mate. No a project. We know that he maybe 12 if he throws his 12 goals and 12 assists, that numbers will be way above anybody else in our group. That will do me. Yeah. Is he a perfect football player? Of course he's not. Was he good for us? The piece he was. GB, would you take the punt? Would you use the Berjami stroke Ant-Man money?
Ox, I think we've got some projects in the door, and I think in the past we've found that our team has been followed too many projects. So I think I would spend the money, mate. I think this season's got to be that we buy in actual ready-made pros. I mean, nobody that needs hundreds of cuddles and all that to get themselves ready for the season. It's got to be, like I says, a guy that's ready and knows the game, knows a hard league, all that kind of stuff. And Cherny fits that bill, mate. He knows, again, he came through a right hard period of time when he was at Rangers and ended up having a right good season. And then sadly at the time we couldn't pick up the transfer fee for him. I think he actually was wanting it. And I think to be honest, if Ferguson probably got the nod, he would have probably chased after him for it. You know what I mean? So it's been one of the ones, but now it's like that kind of bittersweet moment now where we're probably going to have to pay through the nose for him.
Well, I think the transfer is going to be similar to what it would have been last year, mate. Whether you can get a deal, split it or whatever, it'll be the wages. We're not going to match that because Turkey plays stupid wages and it's where he wants to come. That's the end all for me. Yeah, they'll have a ceiling of our wages. We'll go there and we'll offer him a deal. And if he doesn't work, you've got to go honest to walk away. Would I like him to be in? Would I think he would improve our team? The answer for me is yes. Is would I pay up and keep going? No, you've got to be sensible, Leakey.
Oh, 100%, 100%. I agree with you there. Again, it's a business decision as well as a football decision. You give McInnes the opportunity to go and get him. I think you'd say aye, but does the figures add up? If you're getting is winning the league and he is the game changer to win the league, then it's like Declan Rice for Arsenal. Everybody's bolting at the price that they paid, but 2 years later they win the league. You know what I mean? So they'll say, aye, that vindicates that price. But this is football, but nothing's guaranteed. For me, if you gave me the choice between Cherny and Sima, I would look at Sima first.
Well, I'd take you to them, mate.
Aye, well, that would be that'd be Christmas, wouldn't it?
Aye, Big Seaman was a slow burner, mate. The first couple of games, what have we got here? And by the way, if he hadn't got injured, I don't know where that went that season, mate. He was so good at his attitude. Yeah, his attitude. What an attitude he had.
Brilliant. I remember him playing away for him. Mind he played at left back or something.
That was in Europe, mate. That was in.
Aye.
Was that in Benfica? I'm going to say Benfica, mate.
Standard Liège.
Benfica.
Aye, could well have been, but he was absolutely brilliant that night.
1-0 and 2-1 up between Butland and I think it was Golson. We had a nightmare, didn't we?
Aye, but Seema, I think I don't know where he's ended up. The last I heard, he was there in France, but he was impressive, the big man. I don't think he would be on anywhere near the wage or the transfer fee, and I think he would improve us.
I don't know what he's done, mate, but you don't know, mate. He might have went off the boil. You know, at the end of the day, if Derek McInnes wants Tierney, that's important to me. If he's recruitment, if they're suggesting that they think somebody else is a better fit and the manager wants him, that's the big tick for me, GB.
Aye, Ox, because again, he's probably seen something that he can develop in that player as well, Ox. How to get even better at him, or how he's got to fit in his team to help open the doors that he's clearly McInnes knows that he needs to open. Ox, it's just I'd much rather prefer it if it's McInnes who's pushing it, because then it is on him. It's down to him to make it. Whereas sometimes if it's somebody that's keen to him and it doesn't work out, then it's too easy for them just to fall back into the background a wee bit. I mean, whereas I think sometimes
I think you've got to understand, and I'm not being flippant when I say this, mate. McInnes will say he needs an outside right, maybe even two of them, right? They'll say, right, there's who's available, there's the transfers for the ones, right? We can't get him, and you're maybe left with five. Yeah, and out of the five, there might only be two possibilities. One says no, and you end up with that one. That's how transfers work, mate. And the manager said he wants an outside right. He doesn't pick. Because obviously players pick where they go. Wages dictate. Other people come in when you move for them and gazump you. And you don't meet the asking price of the selling club. Somebody comes in and meets it. So all of that comes into play, AK. It's no, look, I like the manager to get the player I want, but he gets given what he's given in reality. That's what happens at every football club now. The game's changed. You heard Lawrence Shankland about captains. I try to tell you that about Tav. The day's gone. Lawrence Shankland told you the days are gone, mate.
I know. It's I would just like to finish with Jack Grealish is available.
All right, okay. It's enough for me. Anyway, we've been joined by Smurf. Evening, Smurf.
Evening, troops, and glad to see the show's back on permanent basis now again for the season. And my point is, I was just listening in and just really to pick up on your point, Ox, how things have changed. You think Messi, you think Mbappe, two of the best players in the world, both moved in free transfers, one for PSV to Real Madrid and one for Barcelona to PSV. So it's right, the economics of football, when you've got a profile in football or you're a rising star in football, the economics are such that really, if you can move in a free, it's in your best interests. And because what clubs are saving in transfer fees, you can sort of demand a cut of that in wages. So you're spot on in what you're saying. And I think
it's not new, mate. It's not new. You used to get rewarded with a free transfer.
That's true, aye.
It's not a new thing, mate. Yeah.
Davy Cooper went to Motherwell for 50k.
You know, but aye, that was was there free, but that's what used to happen because obviously the game's changed when clubs held on your registration, but that's how people made some money. But look, the game's changed with beyond all recognition, and we have to wake up to it. We have to be smarter, and I think we have been. And some of these transfers will work again, and some of them won't. You're just hoping that we collectively, with Derek's input, and no, don't touch him. When he says no, don't touch him, that should be the end of it, yeah. And you have to look at another target, but you might still not get your number one, mate.
Of course not, and nobody does. I think there's a ceiling at every club now. Well, there is a ceiling. UEFA have imposed a ceiling with the FFP or whatever it's called now. It's called something else now. So there is a ceiling, and everybody's got to work within their constraints. If you want to get through that ceiling, it's an easy answer. It's not an easy fix, but it's an easy answer. You have to grow your club. It's that simple. You have to grow your revenue.
I'm just going to cut across you quickly, Smurf. I'll come right back to you, mate. AK, I think you've got an announcement, mate.
What we're talking about, Ant-Man is away to Anderlecht.
You keep up. This is Rangers Radio. It was
Yeah, I got a message here off of Rob, our on the spot journalist. Ant-Man is away to Anderlecht, confirmed.
Smurf, carry on, mate. Well done, AK. Sharp as ever.
And that's fair me. No, it's just economics are such. Economics dictate everything. It's legislated for in the highest echelons of football, and so the expectation. When back in the day when Dick Advocat came in, and the Walter had his good times at Rangers when they were bringing in your Loudrops and your Gascoignes and that. These days are gone, and ultimately the smart money doesn't pay transfer fees, and that's smart for the clubs and it's smart for the players. So it's the new normal of football, and it's hard for people to digest, because as soon as they want to see big marquee signings, and the measure of big marquee signings in some people's eyes is big marquee transfer fees, but if you can get Brian Laudrup for nothing as opposed to paying 20 million for him, well, he'd be worth far more than that now, but then of course you're going to take him for nothing. So people do well to keep bear that in mind.
Brian, if you use that scenario, mate, he makes like getting 10 million wages over the 4 year that he signed for you. So he's getting 50 grand a week just in that part of his wages. Then he's got his actual wages, mate. That's the reality.
Of course.
Obviously, we're not at that skill, but that's how it works, mate. Yeah.
Of course.
Aye. But look, I think it's just my opinion. I'll go down the 3 years. I'll start with GB. Come back to you, Smith, and then AK, because I know he's just having I think he's having an espresso, a double shot. He's having a double something anyway. But GB, good news or bad news that Ant-Man's left the club? Thoughts?
Oh, good news, mate. Good news, definitely. He would be another one, like, say, Cortez, that would end up floating about for 4 years, making a killing off us. So I'm glad, to be fair. I'll nod my head to him actually grabbing a transfer and moving on and wanting to play football, unlike the rest of them that kind of hang about our club. So, no, good bit of business, and I wish him well. Like I says, he's clearly wanted to go and play football, so well done him going finding a club, mate.
Smurf?
Do you know what? I think if you want to sort of look at everything that was wrong with Rangers last season, it was a signing of Ant-Man, and that's no reflection of him. I think he was a guy that he needed to hit the byline, and Rangers domestically were a wrong fit for him. He's burns at the grass, and he's snookered, and the way teams line up against us, there's no a lot of that, and that's why we're looking for wingers. A left-footed guy on the right and a right-footed guy on the left, so they can cut inside a bit like Cherny did, and create openings like that. I think he's a good player. I think he's got a lot to offer the right club and the right league. He just wasn't. I don't think it's a reflection on him, is what I'm trying to say. I think it was a wrong profile for a club. He's not what the club needed in this league.
I get it. His game was get the byline, pace, put it in, or run through, mate. I just think that I watched his core skills, mate, of taking the ball in, controlling it, looking for a simple pass, mate. and I think they were poor the piece. But I had this conversation with a good friend Southside when we were watching them at game at Ibrox, and I just say I don't see it, and I've not seen it. But what I've loved off my hat to him is somebody must see it, because Anderlecht is a great move for him. I think it's a good move. AK.
It is a good move. It's a good move for Ant-Man to get his career back on track. But it's a funny one, though, Ox. See, when you see the numbers that he was putting out there with the club that he came for Holland, you're like, how did that not work out? But then when you see him in action, you're like, that's not the same player that we bought. He just looked like
My good friend used to put out good numbers every week, mate. Do you know what who he was?
No.
He was a bingo caller in the F&F, mate. It means nothing. Right?
Very good.
It means...
No, listen, he just looked like an outsider and the gang weren't letting him in. That's what it looked like to me. He looked like a loner.
He also got injured, yeah.
He did.
You know, he also got injured. But fair play to him. What a move, I think, for him. What a move. Anderlecht, yeah. Good move for him. And I think it's a good move for us. But look, we also means that we are short. And in fact, I'm going to go to Smith, and I think GB, I can see the veins popping, mate. I hope that's your veins that are popping, mate, because we are really short that right hand side of the forward line and the wings, if you like, for a want of a better word, because obviously he was the only natural one that would maybe look to come in and play there, and I don't think Finlay looks ready. Smurf?
Aye. Do you know what? I really wish people would just sort of try and delete Finlay Curtis for their vocabulary at the moment. He's a young boy trying to make his way in the game. He goes out, gets a wee bit of exposure, goes on loan, does well on loan at a club where there's no pressure, no expectation, and he goes to make up the squad numbers to a World Cup, and he actually gets a game. It's fantastic.
Youngest ever Scotsman to play in a World Cup finals, mate.
Of course, fantastic, right? Don't think he's going to come in and tear stuff up with Rangers. He's just not going to do it. And you know what? The way I see him, I don't see him as an out-and-out winger, a guy hitting the byline, and see him more as a sort of inside left rather than outside left. If he played narrow, I think he'd get more joy. But he's not going to do it consistent for a season. He's only a young boy. He needs exposure. He needs game time. I was listening yesterday, can't remember, maybe Southside. Was it Southside? No, it wasn't. It was Big Stevie phoned up, didn't he? And he says he should go out on loan, or maybe go out on loan. And do you know something? That's maybe no the worst idea to put him out on loan again. I would like to see Tierney come back, but more importantly, the guy I'd rather see coming back is big Seema. I thought Seema was a great player. Good in the air, 2 good feet, could play off the left, could play off the right, could play through the middle. Great engine, did a lot of the donkey work going back away. What a player. For the value for money.
Are you taking the piece, Smurf?
No.
AK, have a word.
Speaking sense as usual, Smurf.
We just said that before you came on, Smurf.
Seriously?
I mentioned Seema about 5-10 minutes ago.
I just drove in through. I've literally just finished my job. No, big Seema. Aye, what a play. I mean, just left, right, through the middle, good in the air, tracking back. I mean, what's there not to like, you know? And he was never going to be a superstar way, you know, in terms of one-on-one, and he'd maybe beat people with pace and raw power, but maybe no skill. And I just think, do you know what he looked like to me? He just looked like a Rangers player to me. A good level of ability and a fantastic endeavour and a great attitude and you know, a good age. Just what's not to like.
Well, see when that team was playing well, Lundstrom, Sterling in the midfield, Seema on the left, mate. Cantwell was floating in and out. I can't remember who was playing the right. During that period.
Maybe Hadji,
Hadji,
maybe.
he'd have been out injured then, mate. I'll have a look at that cup final team under come on. Yeah. I mean, I thought that was Sterling's best moment was, and obviously, I'll have a look at that cup final where we beat Aberdeen, who played that day from memory. But I like Big Seamer. When he first came into the team and we watched him in pre-season, you went, "Oh no, what have we got here?" But when you've seen him and he developed, and I think if he hadn't get injured, things could have been so much different for us. Let me just see. That League Cup final team of Butland, Tavernier, Golson, Balogun, Warner, Lundstrom, Sterling, young McCausland. Young McCausland was on the right, Cantwell, Seamer, and Cyril Dessers up top. Well, that team would beat that Bruges team any day, wouldn't it? AK. Then GB.
Aye, it was a decent team. It was. There were plenty of workers in the team, but I'm in agreement, full agreement with Smith. I thought Big Seamer was brilliant. He was a link man. He could drive with pace. He was a threat in the box. Let's not forget the winner. He should have got in the Scottish Cup final, which was disallowed as well. So I'm surprised he didn't kick on. The last time I heard, he was playing with Rennes, I think it was in France, after moving for Brighton. So I don't know where he is now, but I'm surprised that he's not kicked on. You never know. A club might fit, and we were the right fit for him. But there are players out there that you want to bring into your club, and a wee bit of agreement with GB. I'm no sure of this boy for Coventry. That the last I heard,
No, we
I
never
think
heard.
I think he played. Was it Zurich or something? Went over there and he's barely played 5 minutes for Coventry. I've heard he done an attitude problem that Lampard didn't like, and that's the last thing McInnes needs is another disruptive influence in there.
Did you look at Laudrup's record before he came in?
No, but he was Fiorentina and AC Milan and that as well, wasn't he?
Aye. Bayern Munich, I believe, as well.
Bayern Munich.
Yeah. Big number of games. Look, people are a gamble. Again, if Derek wants that guy to Coventry and he says yes, I'm all right with that, GB. If he doesn't want him, it's a no.
I think it's getting to that point, and I know there's weeks.
You don't take anybody, mate. You don't take anybody.
But well, if they're that short, Hawks,
no, you don't take anybody. You've got to play Finlay Curtis. You just don't take anybody.
But that means you're left with Curtis and McCausland kicking about. You mean that, and you try to say that's your two wingers to go.
I'm not saying that's the answer, mate, but you don't take anybody just in desperation. Smurf.
Absolutely. You've got to hold your nerve, because at the end of the day, if you've got a guy, say like the young boy McCausland, right? You don't fancy him, but he's there, he's under contract, so you've got to utilise him, bring his wages, and he's there. You don't just bring anybody in because you've only got McCausland, because you could just end up with two people and you have the same opinion. The second one is you do about McCausland, so you've got two guys to go out the door. It's got to be the right person. For too many speculative buys, no enough research done or whatever it is, and no, you got to get it right. You just take your time, you slow down, and you make sure you get your ducks in a row, and you get it right first time, because it will just be more money wasted, and it will be longer, and it'll take longer, in the long run to get the right guy in. Absolutely not. No chance.
We've signed Brian Laudrup. He'd only played 9 games the season before at loan in Milan, mate. And people were like, what a waste of money. What are we signing him for? Yeah. There you go. What do we know, AK?
Oh, the supporters know nothing. But mind you, we were signing a guy that won the Euros with Denmark. So
no, then
he wasn't.
Well, 92 they won that, wasn't it? 92.
Aye, Denmark won it in 92. One day your homework.
Aye. It was an international, but you've just got to hold your nerve, GB. It's the Kenny Rogers, Kenny Rogers, yeah.
Don't know that one,
Somebody
mate.
know? Did somebody
Tell
not get put? Somebody not get put out that tournament in '92, and they get put back in by default and end up winning it.
You might find it was Yugoslavia, mate.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aye. Tell him what you've got to do. Kenny Rogers, advise him. AK, tell GB what he's got to do.
I wins in the stream.
No. Keep going.
The gambler.
Yes. GB, you've got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
It's true when you're talking about like with Seema and stuff like that, right? And this is where my annoyance comes in. Like Seema is the quality of what we're looking for, and that's where obviously we've touched on there with the people we've been linked with. Like we're going down it seems to be that we're going down the same path with these guys that we're looking at, guys that are, let's say, no cutting at clubs and wingers, and I know that you could get that one guy in that ends up that totally really likes his career and stuff like that. But we've got a brilliant track record in getting the perfect guy. And Seema, you could tell that boy had quality. You know what I mean, and that's where we should be. We should be looking at that player profile. We shouldn't be looking at a player profile of a 20-year-old who's, like AK says, has got an attitude problem, who's not being able to settle under a decent manager like Lampard and stuff like that. All these things great.
We shouldn't sign anybody. We shouldn't sign anybody that's only played 9 league games the year before and his club didn't win them.
But Brian Laudrup to a boy playing for Coventry boxes is a total different scenario. You mean Milan and, like you just said there, with Denmark internationals. I mean, it's the new. We've got to be really smart in the transfer market, but we just can't keep going back to what I says scraping the barrel. Like if we're serious about challenging for a league, we can't, like you says, mate, we can't keep just bringing in players for the sake of bringing in another winger like an Ant-Man. Or he looks good in paper.
With the greatest of respect, you just told us we've got to sign anybody because we're that desperate.
No, I didn't. You jumped to that. I said he's got to end up getting landed with players that he probably doesn't want.
And that's the thing. If Derek doesn't want them, mate, that's a no-no for me.
His recruitment team will tell him that's all you're getting.
But no, that's when he's got to have the cojones and say, no, we move on. Yeah, that's the thing. If Derek says yes, that's his choice. AK.
Undoubtedly, it comes down to that. The manager's already said that he has final decision on it. Your recruitment team can put a number of players to him, and they rule out certain ones that he doesn't like. It's all these analytics now. I mean, Hearts done it last year at Jamestown, and there seems to be a lot of clubs that's following that, but that doesn't guarantee you. There are guys out there that you've just got to pee with the coat you've got, basically, and your finances dictate the level of player. And we're far from that top table now, as Ox intimated earlier on. We're no longer short at Harrods and that, and bringing in a Gaza for 4 million, 4.5 million. 4.5 million now will get you an average player. You're talking about 40 odd million now. It's just mental, the prices. I think Albert spoke about that, the EPL and the economics of the Champions League, where it's went to with all the other leagues, is just the prices would off the scale. And there's one benefactor who's out the lot of it, and that's the fact by agents now, Oxford and Smurford. Sure, you'd agree. Clubs are no getting the same money, sharing between them, and a lot of the agents are making tens, if no hundreds, of millions in their own back pocket because of it.
They've always made money, agents, because they've always been in the game. Ultimately, the economics are such that Real Madrid signed Mbappe on a free transfer because the finances involved, even Real Madrid couldn't have afforded it. That's the reality. Because they are subject to financial fair play, and they shop or fish in a certain pool, and Mbappe was a different pool yet again. It was a bridge too far. He had to leave under freedom of contract. Messi went to PSV again under freedom of contract. It's affecting everybody. except maybe for maybe a limited few teams in the English Premier League. But ultimately, there's a ceiling for everybody. Financial fair play dictates that, and so you're right. Clubs can't throw money about the way they used to. They just can't. And if you can get somebody, you've got to be looking for value for money. Look at Ferguson, lose Ferguson. Everybody's screaming, "Oh, can we do a swap with Askin? Can we get him for about 17 million? I'd pay it, whatever." But if he really wants to come to Rangers, and he's got 2 years left in his contract, like he has, and he runs it down for another year, that 17 million is now 7 million. And then you leave it for half a season and you get him on a free in January. Sign him up in a pre-contract.
He's also a year and a half older, mate. He may have an injury.
He is, but he's only 26 now. So you get him at peak 28 for peanuts. I'm not saying we should go and sign him.
You're using that as an example.
It's an analogy, aye.
I get it, mate. I get it. It's really difficult, the football transfers. Always has been. Oh, new thing, GB. You know what I mean? I remember when you talk, who came in the door with Laudrup? Who did we sign with Laudrup? Come on.
Was it Bolly, Basil Bolly?
Bolly, right. I thought, wow, that guy, did that work?
No.
The Chick Young interview.
Oh, the famous. It was true, isn't it?
The best interview ever.
That Chick Young interview, I'm pretty sure, would have contradicted Ox. I'm sure he suggested that Mr. Laudrup played 7 out of 10 games for he was away. Was it Milan or Fiorentina in Europe? Aye, was it? Aye.
In Europe, aye, but
in Europe it was, aye.
I said league games, mate. 9 league games he started. So there you go. And if you think about it, GB, who's my record signing? £12 million. When was it? 20 odd year ago, mate. Flo. Yeah, 20 odd year ago, mate. What's that the equivalent to now? Would you say about 40 million? Okay. That'd be fair.
Aye, and the rest. Year 2000, that was, Ox.
Aye. So a generation ago, mate, maybe even 50 million. They guarantee. Look, Flo worked out. We got a big chunk of the money back. He scored a few goals for us, but he wasn't a success. There you go. Just, you bring in other guys. If you can dig them out in Scotland and you can get them early, and you can get them, prize them away at the right time and get them if their contract's up, and you can snail a gem off for it. But it's finding them, and I want to know who they are, because when I watch the Scottish teams, there's no many players I think, wow, I wouldn't mind signing him. Maybe at times last year, the boy Watt, looked at him and thought, yeah, that boy, we missed out there. He's away. So, but apart from that, I can't really think of anybody, if I'm honest, mate. I've always liked Big Coggage, but that ship sailed, mate. I mean, I know he does a lot of fouls and he spends a lot of time in the stand, but what a football player he's been. He reads the game brilliantly. And we spotted that one here 10 years ago plus, mate. GB.
Aye, Ox, we did. He's a name that's keep popping up, and that's what we're kind of getting at, Ox. Like, I don't want Derek or the club, I should say, to be spending money on people that just don't fit the bill. If you know what I mean, like, so if you're going into our league and grabbing a player, you're probably getting, somebody that understands even Rangers to a certain point, all firm games, because they're in about the league, and they know about like hard games away and all that, Kiro. And so that's why I think it is beneficial for us to like we're looking to shore up our defence, so I wouldn't be upset if we did shore up our defence while searching in our league. And then it's the same way, like say, I to be honest, Ox, I don't know, but that, again, that's where it comes back to recruitment. You've got that boy, I've seen the AK mentioning that Elijah Just and stuff like that. Again, ready-made, understands the league, dangerous. I mean, it ticks a lot of boxes. Not got to cost the world, and yet we could take a chance on a 20-year-old sitting in a Coventry bench. I don't understand it, Ox.
No, but maybe it's profile, maybe it's potential, maybe it's Jake Hasty, AK. 12 million is now worth 23 million according to Smith. Thanks for that, Smith.
The transfer market's exploded, Ox. But you've just got to balance your books as best as you can. I mean, people, you asked a question, I think it was yourself last week, what's the priority for the season and can we afford to discount Europe? We can't. And the reason for it is money. You win a treble in Scotland and you're winning probably less than £10 million in prize money between the three trophies that you're picking up. That's where the avenue to the Champions League is vital for clubs like yourself to build on and expand and recycle through better players in your team. Obviously we got to Sevilla a few years ago there, but we squandered a lot of that money on transfer fees and wages, because it's wages that are killing a lot of the clubs. So the recruitment, said at the start when I came in, Ox, the recruitment has got to be vital, and we seem to begin this cycle every year. Faye Gerrard departed, and we need to try and get it right. So it's up to our new manager, Derek McInnes, and the recruitment team to get it right and to get us back on track. We've got league game obviously coming up on Friday. We've got important European qualifiers, and we build momentum as quickly as we can. Just win.
Just win. Smurf.
Aye, totally agree. Just on the value for money thing and getting all that right. You look at Raskan, right, and reported interest in him, and you don't know what's true and what's not true. Well, I certainly don't. But everything's all in Raskan. The ball's in his court. It's on his favour, and we need to be careful that obviously we want to maximise of returning our investment. But by the same token, he could just dig his heels in and say, I'm not gone, and run his contract in for another year. He can't afford that. So there's a balance to be had.
But
what you want an auction.
He knows that his stock will maybe never be as high, mate.
Of course, there is that. So there's a balancing act on both sides. And ultimately, we just need to be cockney with that and be mindful and as I say, get what we can. Hope what you're hoping for is an auction, and that it's the economics have changed, so it's a delicate thing, and you just can't be too critical,
If you get the auction, mate, it's on the player. You might have a bid of 40 million, and he says he wants to go to the one at 25 million.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the player power kicks in. It's a cruel business, GB, for us supporters, isn't it?
It is, mate. I think what it says, we just don't want to go to the past coming back to haunt us. I mean, you're seeing what's happening with Russell Martin doing at Leicester now, man. He's coming out with the same old stuff, and you're like that. And he's got the same old defeat.
I can't take it. I did nothing last year.
I think it's Facebook must listen to me talking, and he ends up popping up on my feed. But it's again, when you're seeing stuff like that, and again, now we're getting down to the kind of nitty gritty where we're desperate to get wingers in and attackers in. I agree with you. I don't think we should rush it. I think if we can wait and be patient on it, then I'd rather do that and get the right body in. But the ones that we've been linked with seem to be kind of like panic buys, if you know what I mean. And I would much rather take a punt on a cheaper option in our league that Derek maybe trusts than a guy, let's say, sitting in the English Championship no really hitting the heights.
But
And that's where I'm
that
picking up with.
tells you, mate. That tells you that Derek doesn't see anything in Scotland, mate. Yeah, because you'll get more value for money and you've always somebody in the Championship, AK in it.
Aye. It's a higher level of football, the Championship, but I'm kind of siding with GB, I know, because we don't know what we're going to be getting. It could be a great player, but we've seen him at Tondo, we've seen the Asgard, Gassama coming into the building, and Ant-Man, the other example, they've not hit the heights. Why? Because the style of football that we've got up here, it's robust, it's physical, it's demanding, the expectations are there, there's pressure there. That might be too much. You've seen even with the Finlay Curtis, just with that one move and a wee bit in a relaxed environment where they can go and express his Celtic command, and the boy flourishes, he enjoys a World Cup, and then all of a sudden he's coming back now. Plenty of supporters are going, well, I'm not seeing it now, get rid of him, he's not good enough, or put him out on loan. I mean, we need to calm down a wee bit with these boys losing.
You also need to listen to Albert, but it's different playing against these teams, playing for other clubs, mate, than we play against the Rangers. I'm just going to cheer these up before we go, yeah? Before we go, yeah, I'll just give you this again, and then Smurf can see his last words. Buckland, Aarons, Suter, De Jager, Macoma, Cameron, Rothwell, Asgard, Antman, Danilo, and Gassama. Just to cheer you up. Last word, Smurf.
After that. Aye, onwards and upwards, eh? No. And McInnes we trust. Good night and God bless. And get well soon, Albert. I was listening yesterday and I hope you get well, pal. Good night.
Albert?
No, Albert. Bridgeman, that was it. Good night.
Cheers, mate. AK.
Oh, thanks for yourself. Ox, GB, the Techie team, and Smurf for joining us. Looking forward to Friday. On the Rangers.
Yeah. GB and our geography lesson tonight, mate. Yeah, we'll get there, mate. We'll get there.
Aye, we're taking them off, mate, one by one. What I says.
Imagine you that race across the world, bro.
I've have a world record in my back pocket because I've been taking shortcuts. Aye, mate, good debate. Sad to hear Bajamis away because I'll never probably love that going forward now, mate. But aye.
I forgot about that one. I forgot about that.
But I really hope that says the club can get some new bodies in for the manager. He is the best chance that we can come Friday. And as Smurf says there as well, onwards and upwards, like on the Rangers. Hopefully it's a good season ahead for us.
Yeah. We never really talked about Friday night. We had done the transfer route tonight. We never even got back to the fan advisory board. There you go. Going up for tomorrow night. But there you go. We don't always go where we meant to go on here, AK.
No, plenty of rabbit holes on this show.
I know. Listen, thanks to Smurf for joining us, in fact, AK for popping in, of course. And of course, the one and only GB for doing the show, supported by Fox and Old School Boy in the background doing the technicals. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night, 24 hours away for the kick-off of the 26-27 season. Thanks for listening. Take it away, Old School Boy.